Hi, my name is Dr. Jamie Manchi. I'll be working with you this semester in your Math 111 online course. This is a brief tutorial to help you get started. First up, you want to make sure you go to blackbird.swic.edu and log in. Then you should have a course list, so similar to mine, and you will select the Math 111 IN1 course. This should be the first page that you see, which is the Math 111 folders. You have a welcome message here telling you to look at your syllabus course schedule and how to get into our MyMathLab program. And the video that you're watching will most likely be here in your welcome message as well. So just to run through the important folders for this course, your syllabus and course schedule are in this first folder, along with some other information about etiquette and a little self-check to see if you're ready for an online math course. So let's take a peek at our schedule first. So the schedule is laid out week by week. It goes from Saturday when our course opens, and then all the due dates are going to be Friday at 11 p.m. for your homework and your practice tests. So this very first week, you'll be completing the first two sections of Chapter 2 homework, and you need to make sure you complete the MyMathLab homework for that by next Friday at 11 p.m. When we get to the practice tests and tests, that will be all that you do that week, no homework. The practice tests will need to be done by also the 11 p.m. The tests, however, have to be taken during SWIC Testing Center hours of operation because our tests need to be proctored. And we'll talk a little bit more about how the testing process works. But that is how your schedule runs. So each week you'll either have a week of homework with the assignments due Friday at 11 p.m. or if it's a test week, you'll have the practice test due the Friday at 11 p.m. and then the test to be taken during the testing center hours. All right, I would definitely print out that schedule, keep it handy. It's nice to kind of mark off week by week as you complete assignments. So let's take a look at our syllabus next. First up in our syllabus is all of my information, office hours, phone number. My preferred method of communication is in my email address. Just make sure you spell my first name correctly. The textbook and materials, you paid for access to that MyMathLab program when you registered for the course, so no outside cost for you as long as you have the required calculator. You're welcome to use your scientific calculator or the graphing calculator, the TI-8384. Probably the most important part of the syllabus is how you're graded. You will be doing that MyMathLab homework. You have those due dates of Friday at 11 p.m. However, the final due date for all homework is May 12th. Keep in mind there's a slight penalty for completing assignments late. You have a 20% penalty for every problem that you complete after the due date in that course schedule. The MyMathLab practice tests are due the week that you take the test. You do have 5 attempts at each practice test, and I only keep the highest score. I highly suggest you take it once, review it, send me any questions that you might have, and then keep taking it until you're satisfied with your tests. Of course, make sure you take it before you take the actual tests because the practice test looks very similar to your MyMathLab tests. Okay, probably the most important piece of information. This is the one thing you have to schedule are your tests and your final. You will have 4 tests this semester. All the tests will have 25 questions apiece, 75 minutes to complete. So you will make arrangements with our SWIC testing centers to take those tests. Same thing for the final exam. The final exam covers everything that we've learned. It has 40 questions, and you have 2 hours to complete it. Here are the due dates. So you can take, for example, test 1 anytime before Friday, February 3rd. It just has to be completed by the close of business on that Friday, February 3rd, when the testing center closes. Okay. Maybe put those due dates in your calendar just so that you don't lose track of them. You can go ahead and make appointments for those if you want, and I'll show you where in just a minute. Here's the course grade breakdown. The homework that you're going to be doing is 15% of your grade. The 5 practice tests that you'll be taking are 10%, and then your 4 tests and your final make up the rest of your grade. Okay, you'll be able to see your course grade breakdown in both Blackboard and MyMathLab. Okay, the last thing that I want to mention on our syllabus is participating in the course. So you definitely need to be logging in and working on assignments weekly. This first week, I'm going to ask that you get in, get registered, and work on your 2-1 and 2-2 homework. If I don't see you registered for MyMathLab and no homework is completed by that very first Friday, January 20th, you will be withdrawn from the course. I don't want you to get too far behind in a math course. We also have a last day to withdraw. It's Friday, April 7th. Although the college is closed for Good Friday this day, so I'd highly suggest that you do it by April 5th or 6th. If you decide not to remain in the course, this is your deadline. After that, you will receive a grade for the class. All right, so other important things on this first page. Here is your testing center information. So if you want to know our testing center hours and hours of operation and our locations, here you go. Our 2 testing centers are Belleville and Granite City. You will use these forms to make your appointments. So if you're wanting to do that right now and get some appointments made, you can go ahead and schedule using these. We do allow remote testing in this class. If you decide that you'd like to take your test at home, you just need to have a webcam so the testing center proctors can watch you take your test, and a printer. I do provide some formula sheets, so make sure you have a printer so that you can print those out. Also, it's helpful if you're not using a Chromebook. Our SWIC does have computers available for you to check out if you'd like. If you need to do remote testing, just follow up with me and I can help you with that process. One very important thing about your appointments, you need 24 hours notice if you want to make an appointment at an actual testing center. So if you send an appointment on Monday, you can't take your test Monday. You'll have to make sure you request to take it at least on a Tuesday, Wednesday. If you want a remote appointment, they want 2 days notice. So if you sent a remote appointment on Monday, the earliest you could get in is Wednesday. So keep that in mind. That's why I advise you to do it as early as possible. All right, chapter notes. This is where I provide the same notes that you would get in from a face-to-face class. So right here, the first week, you can see a blank copy, and then right underneath, I provide the answer key. So for this blank copy here, you can see nothing's filled in, none of the examples, none of the definitions. But here the answer key is provided. I would highly advise that you work this out before you jump right into homework. It's really hard to do homework if you haven't learned the material first. All right, the last thing that's provided are test reviews and practice problems. So if you get tired of working in MyMathLab and you want something kind of a paper copy, here's where you would go to get some extra practice besides the practice test. All right, that takes care of the Math 111 folders. The syllabus and course schedule that we found in that first folder are also off to the side here. So let's spend our remaining time talking about how MyMathLab works. So you will first need to register with MyMathLab with hitting this access code. And then you will reveal your access code and you will copy a code. You'll actually have a code there. Once you've copied your code, you will be ready to start your registration process. So go into MyMathLab and then click on this MyMathLab link. This registration instructions are right here with screenshots if they provide the same information that you're getting in this video. All right, so let's go in and see how it's going to work. So we'll open the assignments. So if our registration is all done, you'll come down to MyMathLab All Assignments to get what you need. So here are all your assignments and all your practice tests and tests that you'll be completing from me. I did provide videos. They're not for a grade, but wanted to give you an extra resource besides the notes in your chapter notes folder. One thing I want to mention about the homework is you can do it as many times as you want until it's correct. So right now I have a question that I have wrong. So if I go back in, and I've already marked it wrong, it'll say final check the last time, but all you have to do is hit similar exercise and it'll give you the same problem over, and then you can complete it until it's correct. So, all right, so we got it right. So now it'll change that red X that we saw to a green check mark. Okay, so here we go. We see the change. And it saves problem by problem for us. So if I just want to do a question or two at a time, I definitely can do that. Okay, so there are all your different assignments. You can see your practice tests, the 0 of 5 attempts. The actual tests are password protected, so that's why you need to make sure you make those appointments with the SWIC Testing Center. All right, so if we go back to our course to wrap up our introduction here, all of your grades, this is where you would find them into Blackboard. So here you can see all your grades. They'll be in there, and you will have definitely a column that'll say your overall grade in the course. We do offer tutoring through our Success Center in person at both Belleville and Granite City. If that doesn't work for you, we do have this online tutoring that you can also access. All right, so that's a wrap with our introduction. If you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help. I am very excited to work with you this semester.